Hi, everybody. We're live.
Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
Pumpkin latte sucked, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
Get out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
Well, hi, everyone. And thank goodness you're all here because I'm alone tonight. Jen got called out on an emergency meeting. So here we are. It's you and me. So hopefully we can have some fun. I'm so glad to see so many of you are with us, especially you, Deb. I definitely need our in-house comedian tonight. I'm glad to see you were early. Billy, it's good to have you with us or me. How are you, Beer Nut? Good to have you. Thanks for joining in. Loving having you. YouTube tonight. Oh, that's great. Well, you know what? I love the YouTube views, and I'm glad that it's working. I really would like to get off Facebook if we could. So I'm glad. YouTube and Rumble is the way to go. Good to see you, Josh, or Ralph Rubinek. Good to have you. Debbie, there you are. My mommy, too. Let's see. Oh, I'm the love of her life. Oh, I thought she was going to curse me because she got new windows in her patio, and apparently she doesn't know how to open them. And I'm the reason she got the windows. So I thought maybe she'd be angry with me today. But I'm the love of her life, so that's good. Susan DeRema, good to have you. Thank you. Well, she's not here tonight, Mom, so it's me alone. How are you, Professor? Good to have you. Kevin, how are you? Welcome back. Good to have you. Francine, great to have you. And okay, we've got Facebook, this is great, we're multiple platforms just in case. Mega evening to you, Mick 40, and hello, Andrew Dorman. Good to have you with us tonight. And now back on. Okay, don't make me dizzy. Happy Tuesday, Angela Ricca. And let's see who else we have with us here. You're not alone. You have many personalities, Leticia. Yes, I do have many personalities. Okay. Well, this personality is a celebratory one because I don't know about you guys, but I'm still on a high from the Trump win. And I think it's just great. I mean, how is your week going out? How have you been feeling about the whole thing? Howard Zim's with us. Thank goodness. Our other comedian. How are you, Howard? And Cynthia, how are you? Good to have you with us tonight. 2 free votes for Jen tonight. Oh, great. Everybody on Facebook, please vote for Jennifer. If you're on Facebook, she's in a contest. It's on my walls, all of them. It's on her walls in my story. So hopefully you'll give her votes. I think that her first prize is 10 grand or something like that. But it also, it's free, the voting. But she's representing breast cancer awareness, so that's great. Hi, Johnny. Good to see you. I am freaking great since the Trump win. Thank you, Francine. I appreciate it. So anyway, I feel like celebrating, and apparently so do our NFL, and not just NFL, but our sports people. Have all of you seen this? I had to get rid of the YMCA song because we don't have rights, but have you all seen what the sports guys are doing when they get a touchdown or when they win? Watch.
He did the Trump dance. He did the Trump dance.
He did the Trump dance. It's amazing. It's becoming a fad now for people to do the Trump dance. And here we go. I mean, we're out of that alternate universe that we were in, and we are entering back into sanity, I think. And, because before Donald Trump ran for president and even into his presidency, he was one of the most loved figures. I mean, either you liked him or you hated him. But I mean, he was known all over the world. And all of a sudden, with this whole bullshit with Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, all of a sudden for the midterm elections in 2018, they started unleashing Russiagate and Ukraine Gate and besmirching his name all over the place. And they just kept on pounding on him for the last 6 years. But it seems like our voices were heard. The American people said, enough is enough. We're not going to believe your bullshit. And by almost now 80 million votes, he got to go back to the White House. So screw you, all of you libs who have been trying to destroy the president of the United States. It didn't work. And now we have the Trump dance. I mean, literally, it's on. Newscasters are doing it. Everybody's doing it. It's really good. Okay, let's see who we have joining us here. We already talked about that. It's becoming more of a reality when seeing the fight and the guy giving Trump his belt and the football guys doing the Trump dance. It's sinking in. It is. So I hope you all got your drinks in your hand or doing your Trump dance at home. I'm going to keep on doing it. It's the Trump shuffle. Is that what they're calling it? Or the Donnie dance? I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It really is. Trump was a pop culture icon, movies, TV shows, rap songs. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Vito. How are you? The optics the Brandon administration gave us is something not of this world. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And they didn't want it to be of this world. They wanted us to flip the world upside down. And those who were going along with it, shame on them. Because I got to tell you, all of a sudden, all these libs that were last week or a week before calling Trump a fascist are now all of a sudden cozying up to him. We're going to have some videos on that. Yeah, he should enjoy it. It's like being incarcerated and being let out into normality. It took a minute for me, but finally it is sinking in. My tree is up already. All right, good girl, Debbie, good girl. It's driving the libtards crazy, especially Al Albanese, out of his mind. Oh, really? I don't follow him, so I don't see him in my feed. Yes, he's absolutely correct. Okay. So let's see what else I've got for you. So people are emboldened everywhere. I don't know if you all saw the Chicago City Council meeting where Brandon Johnson, the new mayor of Chicago, after Beetlejuice got voted out, he wants to raise property taxes by, I can't remember the figure, but raise property taxes for people living in Chicago. So they came out, the residents came out full force, and they told him what he could do with his property tax hike, and the council voted it down. But listen to what the people of Chicago had to say. They're asking or believing that Donald Trump is going to come and save them, and he will.
Trump is in office right now. You see the Mayor Brandon Johnson? You underestimate us. You underestimate the black people, and you underestimate Chicago Red. We're the thorn in your side, and we're going to be the thorn on everybody else in this council member side too. If you don't stop what you're doing, we're going to take matters in our own hand, and we're going to stop it. You know that Trump had pulled 45% of the voter in the state of Illinois, 37 in the city of Chicago. That's the statistic. That means that Illinois is turning purple. We're going to turn red.
Y'all can bird dog me all y'all want, but if it's relationship over duty, then y'all don't serve the blue. And you can smirk all you want.
Mr. Sims, direct your attention towards me, please.
You're a criminal. Why do I got to address you? The feds need to address you. DOJ need to address you, and hopefully Donald Trump will address you. Because you're going to protect the undocumented. Why you going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer under your, 33%? When C. Joe Lopez cooked that 3% up a long time ago. Y'all called it a circuit breaker. Y'all been talked about it. Remember, before you came in here and gave that jovial speech?
Keep thinking you ain't going to abide by what the president of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. I see you, Anna Valencia, in your red. You know what it is. This is the second time you showed up in city council in red. You know what it is? Yeah. Yeah. So you and the rest of them that know what time it is, y'all come on. You leave that loser where he is. He's a loser. He's a loser.
14% rating is what you appear to have, Brandon Johnson, across the United States, or how they see you. But 14% rating. Now, I'm going to talk about all those known donations of $11.5 million that came from places like the CTU, the SEIU, the American Federation of Teachers, Illinois Federation of Teachers, and then someone got the nerve to get on there and talk about cutting the pensions. What about our real estate? Because, see, we paid for these properties for a purpose and not for you to go touching it with $300 million that you want to siphon out of the citizens' pockets. Get rid of the illegals, and that'll take your money right back. Start it off with that.
Get rid of the illegals, and they are going to do that. I mean, we're homing at the helm. And Trump back in the White House, you know that's going to happen. And of course, we're going to have meltdowns about that, but it has to happen for so many reasons, but it has to happen. Okay, what are you all saying? Rumor has it that Joe and Micah went to Mar-a-Lago to do the Trump dance. Yeah, but that Trump dance looked a little bit different. Instead of looking like this, it looked like that. It's crazy. Crazy. Biden's administration and the crazy stuff we have been exposed to just shows you who is running the country. Exactly, Deb. Exactly. Trump is phenomenal, and still the media is trashing all his cabinet picks. Well, they are. But, you know, I think that they're going to get through. And if we all remind everyone of the picks that Joe Biden had. Let's think about our Secretary of Health, Rachel, what's her name? Levine. And how about that Sam Brinton, who actually got arrested not once, but twice for stealing luggage from women in airports, and he had to resign. So I think that we're going to be okay with Matt Gaetz and RFK. But in case we aren't, just bombard the Senate with those pictures. And let's see what's going on. Don't be surprised if property taxes go up by 50% in New York City. Oh, I'm sure they're going to, Vito. I mean, right now, what they did in New York is ridiculous. Kathy Hochul playing bait and switch with the congestion pricing. It passed all that time ago, but she didn't incorporate it until midterm elections because she didn't want Democrats to suffer. Yeah, kind of crazy. But it just shows you that they're liars and they're cheats. Look at what's happening in Pennsylvania. I'm going to show you in a minute. It ain't over until the inauguration. I agree. We can't get our hopes up. We've got to be careful. I agree, because you never know what they're going to do. Good. Enjoy the Donnie dance. Yeah, exactly. Governor Hochul told us she was lowering the congestion pricing scam to $9 when in fact she raised it to $9. Don't believe anything she says. You can't believe anything she says. I only believed one thing that she said. She said that Republicans were no longer welcome in New York. And I believed her and I left. And she's not getting my money anymore. That's for sure. And the people are awake. Finally, the people are awake. Can't wait for Trump to stop the wokeness in New York. CSI is shoving it down my son's throat. Hi, Gina. Good to see you. I believe our friend Scott Lebedo is going to CSI to make a kerfuffle about professors being, taking aim at conservative young men. Hello, Martin. Okay, I got you. You voted Kamala. It's fine. And that, you have a right to do it, but she didn't win. And she was a fake. And she never told us what she wanted to do. It would have been great to have the first female president, but you've got to have the stuff behind you, man. You got to have the stuff behind you. Informed people right there. Yeah, exactly. I've seen so much suffering from Harlem, Washington Heights, and East New York. Time for red. Yeah, I think so. I think that we've seen the numbers everywhere. We saw it, Florida, push more towards Trump, New York, Michigan, Illinois. So people are opening their eyes. Makes me so happy that Black people are waking up and realizing they were being exploited for 50 years. Yeah, but you know what? Not everybody. Voting blocks, unfortunately, Florida moved because there's a large Jewish population in Florida, so it was good to see that they moved more to the right. But Trump didn't win in the Jewish sector, and he didn't win in the Democrats, in the Black sector or the Hispanic sector, but he got higher, way higher than any Republican before. So hopefully people will open their eyes and, at least be an independent. If you can't make the full swing to the Republican Party, be an independent. And honestly, I don't know that anybody has to make the full swing to the Republican Party because they have a lot of proving to do to me. I'm a lifelong Republican, but I vote and always have voted, independently. I vote more like a libertarian based on the person and what they are promising. And, if it aligns with me. But so I don't know. I mean, maybe it's okay that they just swing to the moderate and independent side. I hope so. Get in touch with Scott Lebedo. He's on a rampage with that college. Let him know. Yes, exactly. He's planning a protest. Biden is pushing for World War III so he couldn't enact the War Powers Act. It's interesting that you say that, and a lot of people are concerned about that, and it might exactly be what he's doing, but it won't stand. I can guarantee you it won't stand, because just like the border patrol agents' morales are up, so is the morale of the military now that Trump is coming in, and I don't think that it will go over. And remember, no matter what, he can't. We've got both the House and we have the Senate. So the House could refuse to give him any money, and that's it. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's see who else. How about Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of Transportation? He wouldn't know a plane from a train. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. So don't worry about the appointments. I think the appointments are going to go right through. Vito is correct. Hi, Kevin Jones. Good to have you back. We are all great. Jen's not here, but everybody else is great. Teresa Rampula, good to see you. Oh, wow. We've got a lot of old school friends here. It's great. Let's see. We shouldn't vote based on the sex of the candidate. We vote on the integrity of the person and the respect for our country. Indeed. Indeed. Well said, Ralph. People shouldn't vote based on sex of the candidate, but what they plan to do, their constituents and the country. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see. So let's see what else. All right, here is a meltdown that occurred. Where am I? Hold on a second. Here's a meltdown that occurred after Trump won. This is a teacher in Connecticut. And she's talking real tough until she gets caught. Watch.
People of color and poor people and gay people and all the people that I care about aren't going to be safe in America. Neither the are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. So serious. Nobody talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me, whatever. Anybody else, stay the out of my face. And if you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and I can handle you how I see fit. Please just come forward. We know. Just tell me or leave. Please, the door.
And you know, it's my life's dream to be a teacher. I consider those kids my kids because I don't have any of my own. And they fill that for me. And it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding. And I know that what people see right now, I don't look like that person, but I truly would do anything to help any child and any family in need.
Dunleavy says she's been getting threats herself and has had to move out of her home. Police told her today she'll not face any charges. I was there when Cheshire Police called her.
Okay. So she was real tough with her meltdown. And then as soon as she got caught, what does she do? She breaks down in the crocodile tears. So, I mean, we've been seeing that a lot. It's kind of crazy. Let's see what Vito says. Leftist Jews would vote for Hitler if he was running as a Democrat. Prove me wrong. I think Ralph and you could have a conversation about that. Listen, I mean, the Jews in America, back in the 1940s, didn't want FDR to get involved in, in the Hitler's war. They begged him to stay out of it. So, it's unfortunate that party comes over principle sometimes, but I'm hoping that more and more people are waking up to it. Let's see. Putin isn't suicidal. Renette, that. Okay, I'm not sure what that meant. Honor our military always. Ralph and Vito are correct. Someone cut common communication lines today in the Baltic. Yes, I saw that. The killer of Devin Dillahunt must be deported. Absolutely. Putting my two-way radio equipment in microwave tonight. Eek. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, you're threatening us, idiot. Not sure what that is about. Kevin Young, I don't think anybody's threatening you. Swing dance. Okay, you guys got to speak English to me because I'm by myself and I don't have Jennifer to decipher. It's been too quiet. I don't trust them. I'm sure they're up to something. They still want him dead. Cracks me up. They think they're so tough. Yeah, exactly. Party of Unity, my ass. And peace and joy. Hi, how are you, Denise? Good to have you. MP Strike. Maybe. Okay. All right. We got a lot of stuff going on here. You come forward first. Who? Oh. We're talking about her. Okay. Got it. Sorry. She had 100 abortions. Yeah, maybe. This is the mental illness that's out there. This was penned by someone I personally know. All right. Everybody, please read it. It's a little long. Can anyone say Faraday? Okay. Crybaby Janis Joplin. Ralph and Vito are correct. Hey, Billy Nolan is loving Ralph and Vito. Yeah. It's crazy. Let's see. Leftist Jews told my mother, too bad Hitler missed you. Nothing has changed with their mental illness. It really is a sin. It breaks your heart. Ralph, are you aware that you and Vito are correct? Okay, guys. I love you guys. You are the absolute bestest. You are the bestest. Okay, let's see what else is up here. Okay, so this is great. North Carolina congressman wants a shadow government because to undermine Trump. Watch this.
Last week stung. As Democrats, we simply failed to convince the American people we have better ideas to solve their problems. But we do. Now we need to dust ourselves off and get ready to fight. We can't let Donald Trump's extreme MAGA agenda go unanswered or unopposed. Zone defense isn't going to work. We're going to have to go man on man. So here's an idea for how to organize our opposition. We need to borrow from our British friends and appoint a shadow cabinet to fight back against the worst abuses of a second Trump administration. The special relationship between the United States and Britain extends not just to our strength on the global stage, but also to our shared commitment to democracy. Across the Atlantic, the British have something we don't, a team from the opposition that mirrors the government's own cabinet members. They watch the cabinet closely, publicly challenging, scrutinizing, and offering new ideas. It's another form of checks and balances, a quiet guardrail that holds those in power accountable. With a shadow cabinet, there's no hiding. Each decision by the government faces a ready counterpoint, not just from the media and voters, but also from political leaders poised to step in. Shadow cabinet members can also become the clear point people for advocacy and grassroots organizers, making it easier to unify and amplify the solutions that those in power are ignoring. It's democracy's insurance policy, and it strengthens the government too. There's no room for lazy ideas when rivals stand ready to step in. If Trump attempts to weaponize the justice system against his political opponents with Matt Gaetz at the helm, we could see incoming Senator Adam Schiff as our shadow attorney general, arguing against replacing our independent prosecutors with Trump loyalists. If Trump seeks to eliminate the Department of Education, Congresswoman Johanna Hayes, a former Teacher of the Year, could step up as shadow education secretary to loudly defend public education in the United States. If Trump orders Marco Rubio to hand Ukraine and much of Eastern Europe to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Congressman Greg Meeks, as Shadow Secretary of State, could be a strong voice in support of maintaining international relationships and protecting democracy at home and abroad. Senator Michael Bennet as Shadow Treasury Secretary, and Congresswoman Susan DelBene as Shadow Commerce Secretary could help ensure the middle class and small businesses have a voice in government and call out Trump's proposed tax cuts for billionaires and corporations. As Shadow Defense Secretary, Congressman Adam Smith, a great representative for the people of Washington and not a Fox News host, could counter Trump's threat to use military force against his political opponents and work to ensure that the Department of Defense stays loyal to the Constitution and not some wannabe dictator. And Senator Tammy Duckworth could argue against cuts to the Department of Veterans Affairs that would delay the benefits and care our service members have so rightly earned. If Trump hands over the EPA to big oil ally Lee Zeldin, we could see Congresswoman Kathy Castor pushing back for environmental protection and conservation to protect the air we breathe and the water we drink. And if Trump pushes to ban abortion nationwide, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro could step in as Shadow Secretary of Health and Human Services to defend women's right to choose and argue against the gutting of Medicare by Trump and his cronies. Mr. Speaker, new times require new solutions. The shadow cabinet isn't just about opposing extreme MAGA attacks on our government. It's also about making clear what we stand for, not just what we're against.
Attention, the bullshit meter has detected major BS. Confirmed, that's definitely some bullshit.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? First of all, Britain does not have a shadow government. It has a monarch and it has parliament. There is no shadow government. So what this idiot, again, Wiley Nichols, North Carolina, call his office, tell him he is absolutely treasonous. Who said it? Somebody said it. Oh, Billy Nolan. Sounds like treason. Yes, it does. Exactly what it sounds like is treason. I mean, are you kidding. The left doesn't even realize that they are the extreme ones. They're insane. Shadow governments. And how is this going to happen? He's a congressman and doesn't even know that no such thing could happen because we have a constitution that's set up exactly how our government is supposed to work. Give me a break. I can't. But they're losing their minds. Libtards are losing their minds. Bounce the bozo and his shadow. Yeah, exactly. Not with our tax dollars. Yes, exactly. Faraday bags selling off the shelf on Amazon. I'm sure they are. Listen, it's a scary time. It's scary, and we should all be prepared. I was prepared, and I said it for this whole time. I don't know what's going to happen, so everybody be prepared. They should all run to Britain or Canada, yeah, because it's such a perfect government. Almost 250 years ago, we fought bloody wars to get ourselves detached from Britain. And this member of Congress thinks Britain is such a great idea, but it doesn't even exist in Britain. So what the hell is he in the UK? What is he talking about? Yeah, clown car indeed. Go follow your shadow. Yep. Yep, exactly. We can't have a shadow cabinet. We need military to take politicians like this out. Oh my God. Well, you know, Biden, we talked about this on the show. Biden gave orders to the DOD that they can use the military against protesters, American protesters. I don't know if he thought that Kamala was going to win, and therefore they were going to, we were going to protest in the street, or if he was planning for what he just did. And who knows what's going to happen, but it's interesting. The Constitution was ripped up by the last 3 years. And well, it was ignored for sure. And speaking about ignored, because I can't believe we're going over already. Let me show you what happened in Bucks County, how desperate the Democrats are to hand over the Senate to this Republican, Bob Casey, even after the election was called. Watch.
We reject all three categories of these ballots.
Your motion is to reject or dismiss the challenges in this category in front of you?
Correct, yep.
I'm not going to second that, mostly because I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
So they just decided to count ballots that the Supreme Court said they couldn't count, which were ballots that had no date, no signature, things like that. So they counted them, and then they're counting them now in the recount in their desperate attempt to install a Democrat. So let's think about 2020. Wasn't it in Pennsylvania where Trump was suing, and he said that things like this happened, and the court said he didn't have standing because there was no proof that it was done. And here's the proof. Proof is now in 2024. It's blatant. It's absolutely blatant. Okay, here we were talking about Joe and Micah and the ass kissing. So let the ass kissing commence. Watch.
Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? 5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote. Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Oh my, we just realized, did you hear what she said? Oh, we tried the election denying, we tried the, court cases, we tried the this and we tried the that, but it didn't work, and 80 million people voted for him. So now we have to go talk to him because we want to stay relevant. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I hope everybody's eyes are now open, and I hope that MSNBC goes straight into the toilet. I hope, please. I know I am way behind. Let's see where I am. Okay. Federalist Papers gave forth to our Constitution, Bill of Rights. The Democrats want to go back to pre-American Revolution. Yes, indeed. Danger. Yes, indeed. Billy Nolan is correct. Of course he is. So the insanity. Oh my God, indeed. Oh yes, I like Hershey Nuggets too. Projection of power is what it's all about. You've been saying that, Professor. You've been saying that for the whole time. Clown Council, indeed. They authorized the use of lethal force on Americans. Yes, they did. It's a really interesting directive that that Biden allowed for the DOD. Well, she wanted the court involved. Court said, go home and get your shot. Those council people belong in jail. This happens more than we know. Exactly. MSNBC is up for sale. And yeah, they are. Joe and Micah should be deported. Todd, how are you? Trump's response was perfect. He said Joe came in with his tail between his legs like a scolded puppy. Yep. Okay, next. Yeah, who's coming next? Well, we've got a couple coming next. They caused a lot of damage. They fed the lunatics and created a new culture. How are they going to reverse the damage now? But haven't we been asking that the whole time, Deb? We've been saying that the whole time. How do you come back from Hitler, from the end of democracy, from coming after women? How do you come back from that? You don't. Hi, Lucille. Good to see you. If their lips are moving, they're lying. Absolutely. Debbie is correct indeed. Exactly. Get out with the BS. Yeah, exactly. Joe murdered his intern and got away with it. Really? Oh, I don't remember that, but that I don't pay attention to Joe Scarborough. I never did. Don't forget all the riots starting in 2017, the real insurrection, killing cops and burning down cities. Well, listen, how about when he was inaugurated? I mean, that was, Ralph will tell you. Ralph knows. Deport Joe now. Yeah, indeed. DOJ dropped all charges in 2018. Yes, yeah, they did. Nobody had to pay the price. Okay, so this is a pair of Democrats, and listen to them. I want you all to really pay attention because all the secrets are being uncovered, right? Joe and Micah uncovered what they were told to do. Here's what we had to feed you so that you would have voted for Kamala or Biden instead of Trump, right? Biden first and then Kamala. And that didn't work. And now listen to this pair of Democrats from Dark Horse Podcast who are talking about Kamala and the money. Watch. This is interesting.
there's an obvious racket here, and
Yep.
obvious, as you point out, that it's antithetical to the intent behind a democratic republic.
Yeah.
Right. This is the inversion of it. It's
Yeah. And I feel like, so we are going to show this video here in a minute, but I mean, let me just get to my punchline first, which is this feels like Robin Hood in reverse. This feels like stealing from the poor to give to the rich. Those text messages, the small donors, the outreach constantly to people giving $10, $20, $50, $100. This is the working class and the middle class who were being tapped repeatedly for money, and many of them were giving it. And a bunch of that money was going to famous people to perform as if they hadn't been paid. That is Robin Hood in reverse.
Wait, I like your metaphor here, but it is also happening downstream of a terror campaign. The portrayal of Trump as Hitler was used to motivate people to part with small amounts of cash in order to somehow justify mysterious large amounts of cash to be infused into a campaign that was entirely phony.
Using fear and intimidation.
Yeah.
Again.
Fear and intimidation to drive the little guy to contribute to this thing that's obvious. I mean, think about it in the context. Again, we don't know that this is true. It's speculation, but those text messages, which appear to have been authentic, say 8 times match if you donate, right?
Yep.
That implies a huge amount of money making a nonsense gamble. Why, if you had a huge amount of money and you were trying to elect Kamala Harris, would you hold it back unless the little guy donated a little bit? Why would you do that? It's not necessary. The 8 times dwarfs the little contribution, so why wouldn't you just infuse it?
Yep.
That really does suggest that there was some necessity to get the little guy to do it, right? That it's cover, that it makes it look like a grassroots campaign, when the answer is actually there is a huge amount of money trying to elect an incompetent person who was not nominated through any normal process, right? Was just installed. So what is that huge amount of money? Who were those people? Why did they want this person elected? Obviously, they're not patriotic Americans if they wanted an empty suit in the White House, because that would be an insane thing to inflict on the public. They must have had another agenda, and this just leaves me with a question of what it was.
Yep, me too.
Okay, so now they're telling us the secrets about the money. So we know that some time ago, Jen and I showed you some videos of, oh Lord, now I can't remember his name. OMG. The guy that went undercover and was knocking on doors, asking regular people if they had given $200,000 and $300,000 to Act Blue, and they were all crazy. When they were approached, they all went crazy. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. But that's how Kamala raised that $1 billion. Is it came from illegal ways, and they needed those small donors to cover up the infusion of cash that was coming in. I cannot wait to see what her filings look like, and Jen has promised that she would look them up. So now we understand how they're handling the money. So you see, the reason that Trump was able to win this time was because we were ready for them, because we knew what they did the last time, right? So we paid attention and we didn't allow them to do it a second time. What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, now we understand the money. Well, now we understand the ballot security and the ballot chase and how they can manipulate elections. Now we understand what the press is doing. So like he did the last time, Trump has uncovered all of the crap that we have been just too busy in our lives to see. And it's really, really good. So we got Alaska the last time Russia fought in Crimea and civil war happened here in the U.S. That's true, and it's interesting. And so what could we get this time? Who knows? Or maybe we could shed some. Maybe we could get rid of Washington and California and maybe New York, and maybe we could give those to Canada. What do you think? Might be worth a try. Spread the word. The killer of Devon Dillahunt must be deported. We are spreading the word. Mick, you're right about them being the extreme. Adding to that, deranged now. Absolutely. Okay. The extorted their own voters like they always do. Corruption is the only thing that they know. Communism 101. It's bait and switch. Using fear and intimidation is a comic tactic used by Democrats. My parents were Democrats, so I know. Excellent, Todd. I love it. Who killed Devon Dillahunt? All right, let's hear it. Did Biden do it? Or was it Hillary? Okay, Trump never existed there. Yeah, it's true. The history was working with helping the Jewish people. Kevin Young is correct. All right. Animosity in Russia towards Germany and Europe in general don't push us into World War III. He's doing something, and we all need to be prepared. No matter what, their plan failed. Money, scare, tactics, lies. Yeah, it's true. Good versus evil. Well, let's hope it continues. Sid Rosenberg is a moron. Well, he was good enough to endorse me when I ran for office. So I wouldn't say he's a moron, but maybe since he's working alone, maybe he's not as balanced as he was. Harris spent $1.5 billion in under 3 months just to lose. And it's exactly that is why she wasn't voted in, because look at what they did. It took 230. Wait, what did they say? By 2020, the America was $12 trillion in debt. In the 4 years that Biden and Harris have been in office, America is now $31 trillion in debt. So they gained $19 trillion in debt in 4 years. Think about that. Just think about that. Act Blue was pure money laundering. What happened with that? It's still going on. They're still using it. Yes, great. Deranged is a great word for it. The house of cards are falling. They certainly are. Her campaign raised $1 billion. Supposedly, most of it was from Joe Biden's war chest, and she's $20 million in debt. Well, it was Joe Biden's war chest. It all came over for her, but then she raised the rest of it. Still was a substantial amount of money she raised in 3 months, and she spent it like a drunken sailor. Okay. Oh, how are you, Jumbo Papa? Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting and get involved in the conversation. Not California, just some coastal cities. 15 million of us voted for Trump. Okay, you're right. And I was joking. I would never get rid of any of our states. Just because some people are a little delusional or a little off the wall, we need to fight to get them back. They're still our Americans. I was just joking. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, California has 53 counties, 32 of them voted for Trump, 21 for the loser. Okay. All right, that's good to know. Thanks, Todd. I'm glad you're putting us straight. Billy and Vito are correct. And so is Todd. And so are you all. Okay, so let's see, what didn't I show you yet? So that was Dark Horse. Oh, okay, and here's another one. Talking about a waste of money. Let's see what the DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has posted on their website. This is Paul Ryan talking about what the government has spent our tax dollars on. Watch.
Gin to a sunfish versus tequila, which would make the sunfish more aggressive? Nearly $1 million spent studying whether or not Japanese quail, if you give them cocaine, whether or not they're more sexually promiscuous. Was it one small step for man, or was it one small step for a man? And in the end, $750,000 later, they couldn't decide. Was it one step for man, one step for a man? $2 million for the construction of a kelp and shellfish nursery in Maine. $1.5 million to encourage video gaming in New York. We might be better off spending $1.5 million to discourage kids from playing video games. $388,000 for Columbia University. Be giving a rich university that has $13 billion any money. $249,000 for the Baltimore Symphony. Give money to all the symphonies and we'd make them part of government.
Okay, so that's what our tax dollars are going for. We have a whole conversation going on here that I got to bring on here. CMs used today on Russia, not Ukraine. What are they thinking? I wish I understood what that meant. You have to be more specific. Some people do. Leticia Remauro is very correct. Okay. You guys seem to have an inside situation going on here. Will the real Billy Nolan please stand up? Okay. Pelosi, aka Japanese quail. Yeah. What do you think it was? Tequila or what was the other one? Vodka? I can't remember. Can't wait for Elon to get started. Don't give them any benefits either. Oh, I can't wait until he gets started either. Okay, listen, before we get too long, I want to show this kid. Watch what happened this week in a high school. I think it's in Chicago. Watch.
He don't even like you.
What right is he taking away from women?
He don't like your race. He will spit on you. He don't even like
what right is he taking away from women?
He don't like y'all. He don't like none of us. He don't even like his own race.
What right is he taking away from women? Y'all still not answering my question.
That.
I've been asking for like 5 minutes. What was the answer?
We answered it.
Y'all brought up education once I asked that question. Because y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all just go on Twitter, look at what they say, and just run with it.
Myron, you go on Twitter. I watched the debate. I heard everything.
Y'all thought he was taking away abortions. He can't even do that here.
Myron, what debate did you watch?
He's so stupid. Yes, please look at the Chromebook. So I want to see what right he's taking.
Let me search it up.
What right? Let's see what right he's taking away from women.
Look at what he's saying.
Let's see what right he's taking away from women. Let's watch it.
Okay, let's see what he's giving you when he is.
No, what right is he taking away from women?
Let's see what he's doing for you.
Because they said that last time.
The right to an abortion is over.
And y'all also said Project 25. He also said publicly he's not going to do no Project 25.
He's a liar. Do you believe him?
And he said,
nigga,
y'all only want Kamala Harris.
Your body, my choice. That's what did.
Why do you need an abortion? Why do you care about abortion? You're in high school.
It doesn't matter.
You're in high school.
Women get pregnant. Women our ages get pregnant.
Is you getting pregnant? Is you getting pregnant? Did you get pregnant once?
I shouldn't have to fear that though.
Are you even you're probably a virgin. You worried about the wrong things, yo. Abortion is never one of y'all lists. We got wars. People trying to have war with us, and y'all worried about abortion. Y'all worried about abortion. Y'all not even having sex. Like, look at y'all.
It don't matter if we was.
Then we have to take. Let's focus on the antebellum era during the Civil War, the origins of the Civil War.
Yeah, let's focus on that. People don't want to talk about how Trump is a good president. What's wrong with voting for Trump?
We could, just listen, that we could still be friends after the election. I said, no, we can't.
You stop being friends with us because they voted for Trump? Teacher, way more.
He's saying you can still be respectful and that you can still have mutual terms with that person despite others having different
what are you
sides to other.
He just said his friends, those that he hang with, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said they asked you is you still gonna be cool after this? Right or wrong. So what are you talking about, ma'am?
No, Dad. Again. Let's not single anybody out, Myron.
No, because he said that's not what you said. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She said anything.
Everybody entitled to their own opinion now.
Right. So why would you cut somebody off because they voted for Trump?
He didn't say. Well, he can do what he
can't
wants.
dominate the discussion.
I never said you could.
If you want to have some input, so the dialogue, then you have to do so in a respectful manner and to be tolerant of each other's views. Now, just because I think I expected that our country citizens were more decent.
If they voted for Trump, they're not?
Yes.
What?
Jared.
He's a messed up person.
No, what?
No, wait.
Our citizens not decent because they voted for Trump?
You have your views, and I have mine. I'm entitled to mine.
But that's why you cut them off,
So
because you don't
if I have
correlate.
friends that tell me that, oh, MAGA, 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 I can't be friends with them.
Because he voted for Trump.
Exactly.
What?
You don't get it.
Some people can't have their own opinion. Trump is a good president. Some of y'all are blindsided by what y'all hear on the internet.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I am shaking. I want to go through the screen to smack that teacher, but at the same time, I want to applaud that young man holding his own and being so attentive and being so smart and so put together. And that teacher was reprimanding him over and over again. I mean, I'm sure every teacher would want a kid to be able to hang on their every word like that young man did, Byron. God bless him. I want to know where he is. I want to have him on the show. Fantastic. I hope that Fox and some other news stations find him and start talking to him, because that was an informed young man. But the teacher, think about the teacher. I mean, Ralph is right. Our tax dollars are for education are exorbitant, and this is what we're getting. We're getting indoctrination. Yes, he is a smart kid, informed young man. Exactly. Yeah, Ralph has given us statistics. The kid is spot on. He knows his stuff. I mean, to be that ready and just jumping in, I mean, the teacher should have given him applause for at least that kind of participation. But no, he wanted somebody that was going to repeat back the rote that he taught them. Use contraception, bro. Don't use abortion as contraception. Know exactly how the kid feels. Yeah, we've all been through it, haven't we, as Trump supporters? Myron is correct. I think it was Byron, but maybe it was Myron. Yeah. This should not be in class, period. Exactly. Okay, let's see. Hypocrite teacher says be tolerant of others' views, but then he says cuts off friends who voted for Trump. Bingo, Todd. Bingo. I just wanted, oh my gosh. I can't with these teachers. Yes. Wait, is this the meltdown or the commentary on the meltdown? Which one? That one, we had meltdowns earlier on, but this was actually a young man standing up for his own. So let's see what else I have. I've got one more for you. This is, I want to show you this. This was a hearing that was on today in the House, and it was on children and the border. It's a little hard to hear, but pay attention.
Migrants who are attempting to travel into the United States, that drug cartels are in cases harvesting organs of those individuals. You said that this is a common practice that occurs at both veterinarian clinics and hospitals.
Thank you for the opportunity to expand on that. During the interview with the former Sinaloa cartel affiliate, he expanded on a lot of what you highlighted. He expanded on the fact that these migrant children, especially if they're traveling without their parent, there is no way to communicate whether they've made it through their journey or not. And if a cartel member or smuggler gets a call that there is a specific organ that they're looking for, they will scout out those organs and especially focus on migrant children, namely for the fact that they are vulnerable, they're unable to fight back, and, you know, as horrid as it sounds, their organs are more, you know, intact and in better shape. So there is no way to communicate with these children once they've crossed into the border, so they kind of disappear on the way.
And Mr. Carroll, let me ask you, since you've also talked on this subject briefly, do you agree with the assessment of Ms. Hopper on the organ harvesting, and do you have anything that you would like to add?
Organ harvesting is real. To think that it's not, that we're trafficking, this federal government's bringing children over, they're being lost, sexually mutilated, sexually raped, murdered, and then we're shocked or appalled that there could be organ harvesting. The people I've interviewed, multiple people, said, and I asked them, is this an anomaly? Is this a one-off? No, this is pervasive and is growing daily.
I'm not surprised that my Republican colleagues here, including one who has so candidly and callously posted racist tweets about Haitian immigrants, are calling up yet another witness with no credibility on the hearing topic, who believe in conspiracy theories, write about it, and promote lies, alt-right extremist ideologies, to be here. On your X account, Mr. Carell, formerly Twitter, you asked, what is treason? Well, let me answer for you. This right here, this is treason. In one of your tweets, you claim violent January 6 rioters who destroyed public property and attempted to stop a democratic transition of power as political prisoners. I find it to be shameful that a former law enforcement agent would defend a mob who beat law enforcement officers protecting this very building.
So think about it. We're talking about, and these witnesses went in depth about children whose organs have been harvested and whose bodies have been found along the way. And this Congresswoman, when it came her turn after hearing this, and this was hours in, right? Hours in of this testimony, that I was in tears thinking about these poor kids that have no one. I mean, they're kidnapped and they have no one. And when it came her turn, she stuck with it to bring up January 6th. She could not hear or be present to anything that she heard around her. She stuck with her original decision that she was going to use this opportunity to bring up January 6th and to try to defame one of the witnesses when they were talking about children being used for organ harvesting, that they were using veterinary clinics and hospitals to butcher these children and send their organs for American children. And this Congresswoman, that's what she chose to say. Think about that. Think about how cold and heartless you have to be able to do that. To not say in the middle of listening, oh, wow, I didn't think they were going to say that. I'm not going to make this presentation. I'm going to say something else. It was the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I do hope that people share this video and, talk about what is going on right now across the border. Horrible what kind of people do this shit. Yeah, it's the cartels. They don't care. They don't care about, and apparently the Democrats, right? Because they're talking about late-term abortion. These children they're children. They're humans, and they're being harvested for organs, for other American children. Think about this. The insanity. I can't even believe we're having this conversation. The corruption is so deep and evil. God help us. I hope everybody sees and hears this too. The culture of the lunatics right there in government. Yes, exactly. The scaffold was 3 feet tall. What a stupid clown world. Yeah, exactly. But to use this emotional hearing, to use that. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this one. I know we're over, but I want you to hear from our DOD, Pete Hegseth, Seth. I want him to bring a little bit of sense to you about what has been going on in Biden's military. Listen.
Do you remember, I don't know, if you go through your MOB station to deploy,
if you had a Cat 4 dental, they pulled your tooth because you can't be out in the field with a major, dental emergency where there's no dentist. And so I deploy with a lot of guys who were like, oh, because they just had a tooth pulled and they had to. Yet we're now allowing people who used to be men or women join. And then after that, we pay for medical or physical transitions to another gender, which by definition makes them non-deployable and non-trainable because they're, and the same thing with asthma medication or inhalers. Like when you're in basic training, you can't have an inhaler when you're doing your exercises because you can't count on having an inhaler in a combat situation. Well, if you're medically dependent on drugs to maintain your gender or a particular balance of chemicals inside your body, you're by definition non-deployable. And so they'd have soldiers who can't train, can't deploy, have been on the books, and yet everyone has to be careful about what pronoun you use with them.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with how effective a unit's going to be. And yet so something like that should be banned on day one in a Trump administration. We're not doing the treaty, and he did that. It got immediately reversed under Biden. Things like that, because it's a top-down. I'm not saying top-down is the only way that works. I know that. I know that you top-down things and people can ignore it and they can maneuver it and they can work around it. I just think there's enough of a core inside the DOD that if you push top-down and then you change the way you do basic training and the way you do recruiting and the way you do the military academies, you have a fighting chance to restore an ethos. Now, that doesn't say anything about how the politicians will use that military in the future, which they have a horrible track record of, but institutionally, you at least have a chance. Maybe. Possibly.
So there you have it. Think about that. Under the Biden administration, we have been giving soldiers sex change operations. We have been recruiting for people who are trans, knowing that they couldn't go into combat. Think about that. And now Biden escalates the war between Russia and Ukraine. Be ready, everybody. Be ready. Okay, we're over, and I'm sorry. I want to thank everybody, and I want to say hi quickly to Rocco Love. I just got here, and it's over, but I'm proud I attended MSG, part of his historic rally. Rocco, you can see it on YouTube, so it stays forever, or you can see it on Facebook over and over. Back from Florida. Good, Gloria. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we are the #1 human trafficking country in the world, and that should tell us something. So anyway, everybody, I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you. Please like and share. If you're watching on X, please like and share. Please subscribe to YouTube, and I will see you next Tuesday, and hopefully Jen will be back. So you won't have to just look at this mug. Bye, everybody. Love you. Thank you.